Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we are going to talk about a fishy business, literally. Nocera Inc. just filed an amendment to their annual report, and let's just say some numbers got relayed in a rather surprising way. Before we dive in, if you're tired of financial jargon and want corporate news explained in plain English, then make sure you're subscribed. It really helps us out. Also, don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description below for more engaging discussions. Let's get cracking. First, they had to restate some previous financial statements due to errors, kind of like a fish flopping around to get back in the water. These mistakes primarily had to do with how they calculated the value of certain financial instruments called warrants and classifications of assets and liabilities. Right away, we see that total revenue for 2024 was approximately $17 million. To put that in comparison, it reported approximately $24 million. This is a 28% drop. Ouch. Think of it as losing more than 1 in 4 customers, a big hit. Now its cost of sales also decreased, which is good, or they wouldn't be able to pay back interest. And now looking at the bad news, impairment of goodwill or goodwill impairment expenses were way up from $2.2 million and landed around $3 million. This non-cash charge really dragged down the reported earnings. It essentially means they had to admit that an acquisition they made, Mission, wasn't living up to their expectations. It is almost half of our shares, a big share. On the bright side, there are some other items that help them out a little bit. Other income is looking good at $690K, mostly from recognizing things that were not appropriately measured in 2024. For looking at income tax, nothing to see. 22.7K to 124K, its tax obligations actually raised, but not significantly. This may be due to what we will look at in a second. Let's get to the meat of the report, which is the bottom line net loss, excluding what belongs to other shareholders, was around 233. And last year was around team 4.1 million. The good news on this item is that the loss rate decreased. Now, because the business is fish and sails along a well-defined system for production, they also think that their business rarely suffers a seasonal impact, which is a very good thing. But what happened in real life? As of the end of 2024, it had only 484K of cash, substantially less than 1229K the previous year. And to add insult to injury, as stated by their auditors, not me, it means their auditors, the ones who check their books, are worried they might not be able to stay in business. All this may lead to investors losing confidence in us and adversely affect the market price of our common stock. What is management planning to do? It seems that they are actively planning new production systems. Now, more on the people side, there have been a few changes in directorship. For example, a new director had to file what is called a Form 3-Art. So looking at this, what do I think about all this mess? First, the good of a company has a clear and stable business plan. Selling turnkey fish farms makes for a tangible business. And the company continues to do business and find new leadership despite difficulties of the bad obviously, a history of losses, not profitability. And inability to measure things right just despite management's intent. I see trouble to continue operations at the current rate without intervention. Nocera, despite management's intent. I see trouble to continue operations at the current rate without intervention and But now what should you do? Should you go against Warren Buffett style and bet on this horse? In which case, make sure you understand you are betting. This could be the first step on a real turnaround, but as it stands from the outside, consider it as gambling. Before you go and drop all your real money, if you like straightforward business analysis like this, hit that like button. It truly helps, and we have a Discord community linked in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.